Well, good morning, everyone. And how are you? Once again, welcome to another live this morning. We appreciate you guys coming on here. Thank you for your faithfulness to the program. Those of you who can come on live and want to say hello as you get your notifications this morning, we want to say hello to you. Thank you, Sandy from Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. Hi, Lynn from Aurora. Kevin from Oshawa, snowy Oshawa. Andrea, Niagara Falls. Sandy from Chilliwack, British Columbia. Bonnie, how are you? And let's see, who else is going to come up here? There's Brahim from Portland, Oregon. How are you, Brahim? Nice to have you on. Marla from cold Oregon. Justin, Michigan. Amber, New Jersey. Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Nativity, how you doing? Natalie, nice to have you on. Sylvia from Mississippi. Bonnie from Little Britain. Dave from Muskoka. John and Linda from Fenland Falls. Deb, our dear friend from Timmins. Brahim says he loves us and loves everyone. Elaine, Tina, Nova Scotia. Elaine was from Newfoundland. Hi, Lise. Mary in frozen Newfoundland. Wanda, Virginia. Thanks for coming on. Francis from Vaughan. Michelle from Ottawa. Cecilia, New Brunswick. Laurie from Cambridge. And Lise from Sudbury. Sharon from Kansas. And Luella from West Tennessee. Hi, say hi to Doc McEwen. Hi, Cheryl. Arlene. And Leela from Verner. See, Leela, I know where you're from. Janice, Brampton. Dave from Cardiff. How are you, Dave? Janine, nice to have you on. Thanks again. Sandy from Vancouver, Washington. Catherine from Springdale, Newfoundland. Carol from West Virginia. Yolande, how are you? Okay, who was that? Cecilia. Kathy from Simcoe, Ontario. Another Kathy with a C. The other one was with a K. Judy, New Brunswick. Maureen from Boca Raton. Deb, how are you? John, Elgin, Illinois. Patricia. Oh, Patricia's sister's in palliative care. Let me pray for you guys. Denise, Marva, Yvonne, Williams Lake, British Columbia. Serpa from Dowling, Ontario. Rosa, how are you from Montreal? Madeleine, Kippawa, Quebec. Lorraine, couple of more guys. Hi, Anne from St. Catharines. And Judy, we love you dearly. Okay, so we're going to go back. Hi, Helga and Dave from Scarborough. Frida, how are you? Therese or Therese? Yeah, it's Therese. Fran, there you are, Fran from Orangeville. Dennis. Marla and Anne from Lively, Ontario. Donna, how are you, Donna, from Park Hill? Guylaine, Hearst, Ontario. And Elaine, how are you? Guys, we love you. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. Lily in Ottawa. Donna. Okay, back to questions. I didn't get finished completely the other day, so let's do that this morning. Karen is asking about taking 15 milligrams of zinc with 2 milligrams of copper with it. Well, you don't hear me talking about that too much, okay, Karen? And I'll tell you why. Okay, it's not that I'm against. I love zinc, by the way. I love zinc. I love copper. But I'm going to tell you something. If you're eating eggs, meat, and cheese, you're going to get zinc. The only people I ever found deficient in zinc were people with either severe digestive issues, okay, not enough acidity in their stomach, possibly. And the other one was people that were vegetarians or vegans. They don't get zinc. Zinc is found in the animal kingdom. Copper, by the way, you need copper. You need a trace of it. You don't need a lot of it. But that's found in a steak, guys. That's why you don't hear me talking so much about taking a supplement of it. I'd rather, there are certain things that you can eat where you get everything. Okay? And zinc is one of them. When you eat a steak, when you eat an egg, when you eat dairy, you get zinc. So again, you want to supplement with zinc? Okay. I'm all right with that. But I'd rather you eat it. And it's the same thing with copper. Okay? You get traces of that. You don't need a lot of copper, but you don't have to swallow pennies to get it. Eat from the animal kingdom. I'm not saying you can't have any vegetables or fruit. I'm not saying that. But you're not getting zinc from that. Okay? So if you want, go ahead. Okay. Trish. Okay, now we got at least three questions that I can read about PPIs. Proton pump inhibitors. Okay? So, Trish is talking about having silent reflux. So she's not getting heartburn per se, but she's getting a lot of silent reflux, usually phlegm, right? Doctor prescribed a PPI, could not tolerate it due to diarrhea. And she's asking, okay, how many Ultra Digest and probiotics should I be taking for how long? Okay, couple of things, okay? So if you're having trouble with silent reflux, remember that. Whether it's silent or not, you don't have enough acidity in your stomach. It's the opposite of what doctors think. Doctors think, well, you got too much acid. Therefore, we're going to give you a PPI to turn off the pumps, the acid pumps in your stomach. We'll turn them off. Well, you don't want to do that because you're just making it worse. And I understand, like, whether it's silent or you have major acid reflux, it's no fun under the sun. I understand that. But yet, I talk about this all the time. The PPIs, they come with a boatload of side effects. The more they study it, osteoporosis, the more they study it, even cognitive and dementia. Why? Because when you decrease your acid in your stomach, you don't absorb your vitamins or minerals that you need. You don't break down protein that you need. That's why you need very, very acidic stomach. Okay? So, yeah, you want to do it. It's going to take time. Take digestive enzymes with every meal. It really helps. Okay? And you got to don't cut out your sugar. Because sugar, what it does, and crappy carbs, it elevates your pH. You want to have a very low pH in your stomach. Okay? And food is a big thing. If you cut back on your crappy carbs and your sugars, your acidity in your stomach will get better on its own. Digestive enzymes, probiotics, big time. Okay? And I would do to start, 2 digestive enzymes with every meal. And then I would do 3 to 6 probiotics a day for at least a month. Food, be very careful. Supplements, yes, okay? And our digestive enzymes, by the way, come with a built-in oil of oregano and is meant to fight off SIBO, because a lot of people have small intestine, they call it bacterial, we call it fungal, an overgrowth in the small intestine. You want to kill that off too. That's where you get all the bloating and a lot of digestive issues. Okay. Thank you for the question. And that was Trish. Now, Claude, I don't know, did I answer this the other day, Claude? I don't remember. Would a side effect of PPIs be higher triglycerides? I've never heard that before, Claude. I can't see, I'm trying to think of the connection. You're not breaking protein down properly with a PPI. I'm not going to say yes. I'm going to say, I guess maybe, but I don't think so. I've never heard of it, where PPIs actually affect your triglycerides and your cholesterol. Not really. Most of that is done in the liver, not in the stomach. Okay? Okay, Claude, thank you. It was a good question. It got me thinking. Okay, here's Michelle on PPIs. Okay, how am I to get off of it? What is the best way to wean off the PPIs? Again, okay, understand that the underlying condition is the opposite of what doctors think. Because they think you're making too much acid. And that's really not what's happened. Because the problem is your stomach isn't acidic enough. And now your stomach starts to produce more acid to make up for it. So you really want to start with the diet. Like I said earlier, get off the carbs. Do the reset. It has helped thousands, if not tens of thousands of people help with their stomach acidity. They couldn't get over it. They never understood the connection. Okay, and digestive enzymes with every meal. You might even, and depending on what your symptoms, you might want to take a little bit of either apple cider vinegar, again, just to make your stomach more acid, or balsamic vinegar. Okay? Okay. It's a way of weaning off those PPIs. Deborah is asking, would you please ask Dr. Martin? Okay. If oil of oregano taken orally will help with excessive phlegm in the back of the throat. Okay. I had a CT scan of the sinuses and there is a cyst and excessive phlegm, especially when I'm sleeping. Look, yeah, you put your head back. This is me, Deb, okay, because that's postnasal drip. A lot of that, okay, listen, a lot of that actually starts in the stomach, okay? Because again, that can be silent acid reflux. And all you're getting is phlegm in your throat. I've seen it happen. So Deb, take care of your stomach. Digestive enzymes, probiotics. If you have a yeast or a fungus in your sinuses and it's draining backwards, oil of oregano, big time. Don't feed the bears. Cut out the sugar. You'll notice when you cut out sugar, and look, you have to find if there's anything else bothering you. For some people with postnasal drip, dairy bothers them. Usually not cheese, usually not butter, but dairy. Okay, you got to figure that out. Just be your own doctor. Do the elimination test. See if there's any foods that bother that, Deb, in your life. And, like some people, no, that's not what it is. Okay, because, doctors will say, well, you might have an allergy to dairy. Yeah, you might, and you might not. I'm usually not big on ditching dairy, but switching dairy. A lot of people who can't tolerate dairy can tolerate butter without even any issues at all. And that's dairy. They often tolerate cheeses, but they can't tolerate yogurt or milk. Okay? And look, part of it maybe is pasteurization. Okay? But you got to figure that out. So be your own doctor, do the elimination. Is it silent acid reflux giving you a lot of phlegm, or is it a fungal in your sinuses that is coming backwards postnasal? Okay? Figure it out and treat accordingly. Thank you, Deb, for the question. Okay, Joanne. My son was diagnosed with and had surgery for diverticulitis. Ooh, that can be very dangerous, right? I've seen it happen with diverticulitis that you get sepsis. Okay? So diverticulosis are little pouches, especially along the, in the left side of the descending colon. Okay? And you get pouches. That's usually the place. And you know what gets caught up in the little pouches? Feces. It's not going out. A lot of times seeds. So when your doctor says, Joanne, to your son, to increase his fiber, I'm the opposite of that. Fiber irritates. You're already got a sunburn. If you have diverticulosis, you already got a sunburn in your gut, in your bowel. It's irritated. You've developed little pouches. You know what I find with fiber? Makes it worse. And that's why any of my patients that had diverticulosis, I had them on my fiber. What? Yeah. Water and coffee. That's it. That's where I say fiber is overrated, because I find fiber, I understand why doctors think this way, okay? They go, well, you got little pouches and they get infected or impacted, and therefore we got to put more fiber in there to get that cleaned out. That don't clean you up. That just bulks up your stool. In my opinion, and I've done this, when I say thousands, guys, I mean it over the years. I got patients off fiber because they were told, oh, you need more fiber. Brought to you by Kellogg's. That's what I used to say in my office. Where did you get that? I said, I'll tell you where you got it. Brought to you by Kellogg's, the cereal companies that were trying to tell you to eat more fiber. Okay? Where do you think that came from? Originally, Dr. Kellogg's. Okay? Cereals. Okay? I'm the opposite of that. The fiber you need is to wash out. Okay? Not to bulk up, but to wash. Water. Coffee. I'm telling you. Okay? Patients thank me later. Okay? Patients thank me later. Because I said, you'll thank me later. Get off the fiber. We're going to make your diverticulosis heal. And for you, I don't want you on any seeds. If you're going to have some flax seeds, you guys know I love flax seeds, well, grind them up. Put them into a powder. Okay? Till you fix up the diverticulosis. Thank you very much. That was Joanne. You mentioned that fiber is overrated. Yep, it is. Big time. Okay, John. Okay. Now, John, I don't know if you got this right or not, because this is the first time I've ever heard this in my life. Okay? But maybe that's what they're saying. Let me tell you what John says. Dr. Martin speaks on needing an acidic stomach. Yeah, like a lion's. Okay? Very, very high acidity, which is a low pH, by the way. Now think about that, right? Okay. Now, John says, many new journals say for cancer, we need an alkaline stomach because of inflammatory reactions and not acidic. Well, I think that's the craziest thing, John. I've never seen that, by the way. But if you have, can you please share that with me? Because it doesn't make any sense. Now, I understand the difference, okay? And I've done podcasts on this, guys. The difference between acidic and alkaline. But we're talking your blood. Is that what they're talking about, John? Okay, because that's usually what because the acidity in your stomach, you need acidity. It's the only place, okay? Your stomach is the only place you want to be acidic. You don't want to be acidic anywhere else. Your blood, it's slightly alkaline. And if your blood becomes acidic, you're dying. That's what ketoacidosis is. It's not ketosis. It's ketoacidosis. And when your kidneys are shutting down and you're on your way out, you go into ketoacidosis. Now, cancer, okay, and I've talked about this. You know what's acidic? Is sugar. Because sugar destroys your kidneys. And that will make you more acidic, even though you have all the buffering systems in the world, because your pH in your blood has to be very, very, very much controlled, big time. You have all sorts of buffering systems in your body. Okay? Sodium bicarbonate, baking soda. So now, if you can show me where they're saying they want your stomach to be alkaline, I have never, ever, ever heard that, John. Never. Blood, yes. Stomach, no. Because that would even make cancer worse. If you're not breaking down your proteins, if you want an alkaline stomach, you're not going to digest properly. That can't be good for cancer. I don't get it. But John, if you have those articles, would you share them with me at info@Martin Clinic? Send me the references or whatever. I can look it up myself. I just never heard that before. Again, I've heard of blood pH changing that. You want to be slightly alkaline in your blood. Yes. But not your stomach. Anyway, John, you might be teaching me something. I just don't get it. I really don't. But I'm glad you sent it in. Okay. Norma. And again, this is we get a lot of questions about this, okay? I think I might have answered this the other day. Butyrate. Butyrate. Overrated. Oh, you need butyrate. Yeah, when you eat steak, you get butyrate. Okay? Because they tell you, well, you need more fiber. Okay? And fiber, it feeds your friendly bacteria, and it's like a prebiotic. The best prebiotic you can ever get is a steak, because your friendly bacteria love steak. Cancer hates steak. Your gut loves steak. Okay? Yeah. Your gut loves, because you want the breakdown of butyrate? Well, eat a steak. Again, fiber's overrated. Now, I know I'm in the minority by far. I know that. But I've been consistent. I said it all along. Go back into the 1970s. And the cereal companies made everybody stupid. What did they do? Well, bacon and eggs are no good for you. You got to eat our cereal. We'll even put a heart on the box. Yeah, because if you eat it, you're going to have a heart attack. Okay? Go down the middle aisles of your grocery store and see how many cereals there are. And for dietitians for years, they thought Cocoa Pops were better than eggs. If you don't think I'm telling you the truth, I am. I used to scream like John the Baptist. Like, are you kidding me that Frosted Flakes are better than bacon and eggs? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because they got fiber. That's why you need oatmeal. Well, you're not a horse. And if you're a diabetic or a pre or anything close to it, and you're eating oats and oatmeal, you're making a huge boo-boo. It'll spike your sugar up to 20. You know how much insulin you need? You know how much insulin you need when you have oatmeal? But Dr. Martin, it's fiber. Yeah, I know. And it's way overrated. Okay? All right, let me see. Did I answer the question, or did I just go on a diatribe? Hold on a minute there. Yeah, that's Dr. Stephen Gundry. Look, doesn't mean I don't like the guy. I just disagree. Not on everything, but on that I do. Look, guys, fiber has been around for a long time talking about it. I just never bought it. I never bought it. Okay? I never bought it. Okay. Marlene. Okay, this is a good question, because Marlene's going, I don't understand you, Dr. Martin. Okay? Why on earth? Well, she didn't say that, but I'm saying it. Marlene is going, why is it that healthy fruits and vegetables are not or legumes are not included in the reset? Well, I answer that in the book, Sun, Steak, and Steel. I answer that question. Why? For 30 days. Okay, remember, Marlene, that this is a temporary. It's a 30-day program, because I'm trying to reset your insulin. The big factor is insulin resistance. I'm trying to give your bowel a holiday. Cut out the fiber. Okay? I'm not saying you can't introduce fruits and vegetables and some legumes afterwards. No problem. I'm not against fruits and vegetables. Okay? You have 3 kingdoms of food. You have the animal kingdom. You have the plant kingdom. Fruits and vegetables, legumes. Okay? And then you have man's kingdom of food. Okay? Made with seed oils. They're man-made. Those oils were made for your car, not for your body. So that's why, in a sense, I don't even like keto foods. Because if you go to the grocery store, or you go to Costco or whatever, and you get into the keto foods, well, they use usually a lot of vegetable oil, so-called vegetable oils. Okay? You can run your car on that kind of oil. It irritates your gut. It creates inflammation in the body. I don't want that. I'm trying to reset the body. That's why it's called a metabolic reset. And for 30 days, no sugar. You're not going to have any fructose for 30 days. Now, okay, fructose, when you eat an orange, I can live with that, but not on the reset, not for 30 days. Why? I'm trying to empty your liver. Fructose gets metabolized in the liver. I'm trying to lower your triglycerides. I'm trying to elevate your HDL cholesterol. There's a reason for my madness, okay? I'm doing it for a reason. There are several reasons. The number one is to get rid of insulin resistance. So your cells, when you're not eating fruits, just for 30 days, your insulin's sitting on the sidelines. You're regenerating your pancreas. Okay? I like to tell the story of, what was the name of that actor? Ashton Kutcher or Kutchin or Kutcher? Or, can't remember his last name now. Okay? The founder of Apple died of pancreatic cancer. He lived on fruit. He lived on fruit. Okay? Bill Jobs, right? He lived on it. And then they wanted to do a movie about him. And they got this Ashton, did anybody say it there? Kutcher? Or I can't remember, okay? Every day I pull out my senior card, okay? I take out Ashton Kutcher. Thank you very much. And I pull out my senior card, which is my driver's license, and I say, well, I'm a senior. I forgot. I can't remember his name. Kutcher or Kusher or whatever, how you pronounce it. All I know, you know what happened to him? He almost died. He did the movie, and to really do the movie, he said, you know, I'm going to eat like Bill Jobs. All I'm going to live on is fruits and vegetables and mostly fruit. He almost died. He got such severe pancreatitis that he almost died. So you see why I want you off fruits for 30 days? You can do it. I want to reset that pancreas. There's always a reason behind my madness, guys. Okay? I didn't just take this out of nowhere. Remember, in 1968, when I was 16 years old, it's the story of my father's diabetes. I learned all about diabetes watching my dad. And my dad didn't have sugar anymore. He had a few fruits. But he lived on steak, my dad, in 1968. And he kept saying to me, son, it's sugar diabetes. Sugar diabetes. Oh, okay, Dad. That was me. I went to school. I got taught differently. I don't care. I knew my dad was right. I got taught differently. When I was doing my PhD in nutrition, I got taught differently. Oh, you need fiber. You need sugar. Your body's going to die if you don't have carbohydrates. So I got taught that, and I go, nah. I was going, nah. That ain't true. We got a major issue in our society today. It's called diabesity. And 93% of the population have trouble with insulin. 93%. Was I right? Was my dad right? 100%. And that's why I doubled down on it, tripled down on it, quadrupled down on it. I just keep hammering it. Eggs, meat, and cheese. Eggs, meat, and cheese. You want to have some fruits? Go for it. I mean it. Not during the 30 days, though. And remember, hello, how do bears get fat? I'm listening. How do bears get ready for hibernation? Blueberries. That's how they get fat. Okay? The fructose. The fructose. They get fat. They eat up to 30,000 blueberries a day. Okay? Somebody counted. Not me. Okay? We had so many bears in Northern Ontario 1 year because there was no blueberries that were coming into town. You know what my sister said? There's so many bears, they're buying condos. Okay. Thank you very much. You have to understand, and I try and, because there's so many new people on all the time. I'm a rinse and repeat guy, okay? And I want you to understand where I'm coming from. Why I do what I do. And you got to go back to when I was 16 years old. Remember, the Martin Clinic was founded in 1911. Go back a long time. Okay, let me see. I might be done. Okay, and that was Marlene. I think I got everything here. I think I did. I think I'm done. Okay, let me know if I missed anything. Did somebody ask me? Oh, somebody asked on there. Let me just do this. I should have wrote your name down. I think it was yesterday or whatever. Might have been Saturday. Asking about, is the reset good for the thyroid, especially with Hashimoto's or hypothyroidism? You bet your boots it is. Again, thousands of patients and people that I put on the reset found their thyroid functioned a lot better. The food has a lot to do with your thyroid. And where you get the major conversion of T4 to T3 for your thyroid happens in your liver. And when you empty your liver, does it ever make a difference with the thyroid? Plus, when you're not eating sugar, the axis between your hypothalamus and your pituitary gland really gives it a big time boost when you cut out the sugar in your body and your brain. The hypothalamus to the pituitary for your TSH. Big difference. Okay. Thanks for that question. Okay. I should have wrote your name down. Okay. Guys, we got a great week. Okay, we got a great week coming up, and there's a lot of new studies out I'm going to be commenting on. Friday is Q&A, so not too early to get your questions in. Okay, let me ask you this. If you live in Canada, do you got the book Sun, Steak, and Steel? Not available in the United States at this time. Okay, we're trying to make it available. We're trying to do that. Rebuild Your Temple. Have you got that? That's in Canada and the United States. Number 1, health book. Okay? And it's out. And you can get it. Okay. We love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.